Taking that as a yes. You guys can hear me. Hopefully. Yeah, I think should be alright. Alright, anyways, let's talk about the markets. For some reason you can't hear me, let me know. If my voice is too low, I can always raise it up a little bit. Just in my weekend chill mode right now, so you know, just chillaxing, just looking at the markets. I'm not in any plays at the moment. I'm just kind of observing. We do got CME. What's up, V-Man Scooter? Good morning to you. Where are you from? If it's morning, it's almost noon for me. It's about 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock a.m. Type in the chat where you guys, what time is it where you're at right now? We got some West Coast people, maybe. Florida? Okay, so you may be on the same time, or you may be an hour behind, depending on what side of Florida. I love Florida, though. How's the weather right now, man? I'm about to get a fucking snowstorm, guys. There's no bueno. We're supposed to get like 11 to 14 inches in the next 2 days. I usually stream night times, but I think I'm going to stream now, and then I might stream tonight, depending on the weather, but I just want to make sure I got on here and got a market update, because I don't know what's going to happen. Like, my fucking power could go out. We don't, it's always iffy, you know. But anyways, man, we're just going to talk about Bitcoin, because, like, look, to be honest with you, nothing else is really open. We talked about some things on Friday, if you guys tuned in, and I'll go over some basic stocks and gold. But the idea is to just kind of look at the levels, kind of prep ahead for the week for me. This is what I like to do, personally. So, start out on the daily on Bitcoin. We're just seeing, look, it's consolidating here. We're in a range. Could this be a bull flag? Some people think it is. Some people think this is flagging out. Maybe like a little bit of a, you know. So, either way, Bitcoin is between two big levels. We got about 65,300, and we have the high around 70,000, 71,000, that area. So, realistically, we would need to break one of these levels. When we do, that's the direction we head. So I'm thinking, look, for now, play it like a channel, play it like a range. We look for longs down here, and we look for shorts up here, depending on whether we're breaking out or not. Now, flip my tune is if we can get a nice little pop, start breaking some levels and putting a back test, I might get a little bit more optimistic, thinking, hey, we're going to come back up here, and we're actually going to attack this 7980K level. Maybe even higher. Some people tend to think, like I've been hearing analysts out there call for 86K, and, you know, a little higher than that. And it's doable. I mean, there's a lot of liquidity here they could go back and take. I mean, we've been in a downtrend for quite a bit of time. Me personally, I like to play it level to level. I don't like to make predictions too far in advance. So I'm thinking, you know, we pop that level around 71K, 72K, and then, you know, there's a good chance we could make our way up to 7980K, and then we see what happens up there. That's what I'm seeing on BTC right now. San Diego, California. Oh, it's early for you, 8 a.m. You're dedicated. I give it to you. I know some people in our trading group, actually, in Tactical Edge Traders. .com. If you guys want to check us out, that's our website. We have a free Discord, free website, courses and stuff. But inside the group that I'm talking about, where we trade live together, we post our setups, we talk about, we learn together, we help other traders become better traders who are trying to make it full time. And we got plenty of people from the West Coast, man, and I feel bad for them in the mornings. I'll tell you that much. When we're up at New York opens 9:30 p.m. here, Eastern in New York time. That's where I'm at, in Philly. And I got guys that are sitting there, it's like 4 hours. It's like 3 hours. I think, what is it, like 6 a.m. there? But we get up an hour before the markets to prep. So we do market prep first. We like get our levels, our plan laid out. And I feel bad for these guys on the West Coast, man, because it's like 5 o'clock in the morning for them. And I'm like, dude, you guys got some dedication. So just want to throw that out there, man. That's hard work right there. 10 a.m. Yeah. It's 10 a.m. That's what's up, dude. What do I think about Rhyme? I'll take a look at it. Let me just finish my quick analysis on BTC, right? So look, higher time frames, we're looking up like the 70 to 71, like 72K of resistance, and then down to like 65K for support. If we lose the support, it's probably going to come down to lower levels. I mean, we got 64, like around 63K, like this low right here, might serve as some support. and then we have that wick. So I think a direction is going to be made pretty soon, but for now we're consolidating. 4 hour, what I'm looking at is this. We have a trend. We're beneath the trend at this point, right? Show you on the 1 hour. So we're slightly below, but we haven't lost any major lows yet. So on the 4 hour, our low to lose is down here. So a lot of times on weekends, they will deviate below trends. They'll play these moves because there's low liquidity in it. So what we're looking for realistically for Bitcoin is start to get back above these levels here, particularly this range right here around 88K. We want to try to get back above that. If we can, then you know there's a chance. What I will mention, and this is something you need to pay attention to if you are a Bitcoin trader, pay attention to the CME chart. Go to the futures CME. Look where BTC is at right now. It closed at 67,900. BTC right now is $300 below that level. So there's going to be a gap up to about 67,900 that's going to develop going into about 6 p.m. tonight, Eastern. So if that gap's not filled, there's a lot of times they'll pop that price up beforehand into that level to close CME pretty even. But if they don't, it sometimes opens up opportunities for a quick play up. So keep an eye out for that gap tonight. Just kind of want to get that throw it out there. It hasn't really developed yet. Look, there's still time. This thing, realistically, on the lower time frames, it could make its way back up to this level. That level I talked about that it needs to reclaim, that's pretty much where the CME is at. So I think at some point we may see price get there. It's just depending on whether we do it before CME or wait till after. But I think we do revisit that at some point. And for now, look, support. What are we bouncing off of in the short term on BTC? Well, look, we had a trend. All right, get off that real quick. We had a trend. All right, you're looking at my real TA. This is how I TA for myself. We had a trend. We broke that trend. We back tested that trend. We've been going up. Oftentimes, and we had the inverse head and shoulders that popped us up. Now, by the way, we haven't hit the full measured move of that yet. Oftentimes, what you'll see is a back test after you get these trend breaks. I know because I trade them like religiously. Like that's one of my biggest things. I look for these trend break reversals. So what you'll look for is a back test. There's two levels. Right now, we're bouncing off the immediate 382. That's a Fibonacci level a lot of people like to pull. Why does it make sense? Because look, we got some levels right here, some consolidation, some lows right on the 4 hour that it's hitting. We're hitting. That's liquidity. And it lines up with a fib. So it makes sense that this is our first level. If we start to lose this 67.3, 67.4, we're most likely coming down to the golden pocket, which is between the 618.786. That's the bull's last hope for a bounce, in my opinion. For me, that's like the last place I'm looking for a long. Like I'm not gonna even try to play it. If it starts deviating below this, I'm out. I'll wait to see what happens, because it's not ready to bounce, and I'm not comfortable. The next thing I'll be looking for is a sweep, but that's a lot lower. So what I would look for is if we lose this level here that we have, right, that 382, probably make our way back down to this level here. Why does it make sense to me on the charts? What did we leave behind here in this little golden pocket? One, it's a back test of the trend, so we have that. Two, you got this giant wick we put in on Friday, right, off that news. I think they come back for that. That would be a great target. Take everybody out from Friday. Like, maybe they do this tonight. Maybe they do this tomorrow in New York. Take everybody out and then run it up. If they were going to continue up, right? This is the bullish case. Boom. Take everybody out, shake everybody out, and then make the move up to the top of the range. That's the play I'd be looking for me. If it doesn't play out like that, I don't take the trade. I mean, plan B would be look for the bottom of the range, or look for sweeps of liquidity down here. Wait for price to get down here, take this liquidity, close back in, and then it run up. So those are like the two plans I'm looking for on BTC tonight to the downside to maybe catch a long. I don't really, I mean, look, if you're not short from the trend break, I just showed you, you're probably not in a good position to short because we're in the middle of a range. We're not near any significant highs, and you kind of missed the boat. So better off looking for price to kind of make its way down and then maybe fill that CME gap up later. What's up, Kush? By the way, guys, if you're watching, hit that follow, sub, like. We do lives. I mean, shit, at this point, we've gone almost 7 days this week, Ben. Me and Ben. Ben went 3 days. I think this is my 4th day, maybe, this week. So we go live pretty much every day. And we do content like this, you know, market analysis. You can also check us out at tacticaledgetraders.com. That's our website. Ben put together an amazing course, free. We don't gatekeep any of our trading methods, how we analyze the markets, how we do, execute all that kind of stuff. That's all free. And then you can check out our Discord as well. Links are all in the bios and the descriptions. But yeah, I appreciate everybody hanging out on a Sunday. This is pretty dope seeing this many live viewers. I mean, me personally, I thought everyone would be in church, but I guess not, right? Maybe you are in church right now watching from your phone. If you are, hats off. Alright, what's up, Parker? Sorry, I'm just catching up on the chat. I'm going to do Rhyme real quick. We can look at Chevron too, man. I want to look at Chevron. So Rhyme, Chevron, what goes up? What if you're left at the train station, it goes up? What if you're left at the train station, it goes up? Yeah, man, that happens to me all the time, dude. Sometimes you just miss the moves, brother. That's trading, dude. If you miss the move, don't chase. That's the biggest mistake you can make, is chase, because you get a bad entry, you go in, like, on FOMO, you're going to be like you're going to be paper hands that whole time. Or you're going to sweat, and it's not going to feel good. So that's just my advice to you guys if you play in that game. If you are traders, you know what I mean? Like, not everybody's a trader in here. Maybe some people just like the markets. This is your thing. You enjoy, like, market analysis. Maybe you're an investor. In which case, you sit on your hands. You know, you got long-term views. Everything I'm saying on the short term shouldn't even matter to you. But if you want long-term analysis as well, you can also throw it in the chat. Let me know. But you guys have to tell me exactly, like, what time frame you're looking for. Don't say long-term and then say, I go to the weekly, and you're like, no, I mean like 3 year, like, you know what I mean? So let's go look at Rhyme real quick. Someone asked for that. Okay. So algorithm holdings, that's the correct one. I just want to make sure. Give me like a thumbs up or something. Missing one thing. The indicator. Yeah, dude. Nah, dude, I don't do my TA with indicators, bro. You can use it. Look, let me tell you something about indicators before I get into Rhyme. Indicators are like tools to help you, but they are not what makes you, that they don't formulate my ideas on the market or like the trade ideas I come up with. That's all done just in the charts. And if you can't, if someone's telling you that they're relying on an indicator to do all that for them, they're not doing it right. I'm just telling you. So let's get some higher time frame levels on this thing first, right? So this is the daily. I can't even look at the weekly because the weekly just looks like this. So if we're just talking about the weekly though, right? One thing that does really stand out to me on this Rhyme, we swept the weekly high. That was it right there, that wick. That was the top of this range before you go into this big ass move all the way up here, which we're not talking about that price action right now. We're just going to talk about the local price action because I can't really get that far ahead. There's not enough room on my screen. So look, we swept it, right? Came up, it took it in the previous week, and it's closing the weekly candle, or it's going to close this weekly candle below it. That is not a good sign. That's, to me, on the higher time frame, that was just a grab of liquidity. So what you're looking for here is a higher low to form if you want to remain bullish. This is still going to be some resistance, this 366, right? You can see how we're reacting to that level, even though we have that wick there. And yeah, I would watch that level as resistance. And if you want to try to find some type of support, I mean, sometimes I like to pull a fib to see how things work out. And we're kind of approaching a level. If I draw this line right over here, you see that's kind of lining up where we're at right now with this 618 as well. So this would be a good level to hold. I mean, if we're going to hold the level, we'll be right around here, this $2 level. It's psychological level, previous high. So that would be a good bull case. Your secondary level, which we also just showed you, was that 786 would be down here. But this is going to be a little bit like, it's going to be a little deeper, darker if it comes down here, because it's going to be almost a full retrace at that point. So it's going to be hard conviction if you want to get long there. So that's a secondary level around 144. Let's just call it 150-ish. Anything lower than that, you're probably just going to do the full sweep. So $2 would be a good level to hold. And your range high right now is around 360. You break that, man, I think this gets taken on the break. Like, let's just say this thing decides it's going to do some god candle move. Makes it through. It's probably going to come up here and at least sweep this liquidity here. and then maybe it goes a little higher, but I mean, it's hard at that point to really speculate how high it's going to go because there's no real resistance. So that would be the target if we get back above 361 online. Yo, what's up? Sorry, I'm trying to pronounce some of the names. What you got for me, Kush? You said in the short from on Aster from 7 to... Let's go look at it, man. I got you, bro. You guys, we're going to look at some crypto real quick from my boy Kush. He's a member in the group. I've been trading with him, what, probably like a year now. We were degen altcoin trading probably like 6 months ago, 8 months ago, back when the altcoins had their final pop. And last winter we caught some good moves on it too. Yeah, we had some fun. We have fun in the Discord. We trade together. Like, if I'm in something, everybody knows what I'm in. I don't keep secrets. I'm definitely not the one to keep secrets. All right, so look, I got some TA if you're on Aster. You're in a short, right? So your short is from the range high, which is good, man. That's a great short, brother. That's on the daily. You caught the top of that candle. So great job there. You got a lower high rejecting off a previous resistance. Now, the one thing you want to pay attention to is where are you headed, right? You're headed towards either this wick low, which is a daily low. It's from a few days ago. I don't know how much significance there, but the real thing is the target, I think, is 68. So I say when you get down to 68, you get a little defensive. This is how I play these things. Look for maybe a bit of a bounce, right? Not a bad time to tighten up your stop. Maybe put it in profit somewhere if you can find a place. And we can look for some lower time frame areas to maybe do that. And yeah, I would get a little defensive down here, man. If it blasts right through, then fuck yeah, stay in the short. But if you start to see some reactions here, you know, it could just be like a range forming underneath resistance. We don't know yet. Like, this could be a bull flag forming. But this is the obvious place for price to go. So when you start to get down there, man, might not be a bad time to take a little off the table. That's my mind, how I like to think. Because worst case scenario, if it runs back up to your stop and break even, you're good, man. You're chilling. It's not going to be a psychological loss. So watch that level. But if you lose that level, like I illustrated, man, that becomes resistance at 68 level, and then you start to look down here towards like 59, 60, and maybe even lower. You were thinking the wick all the way down here. I mean, look, at some point they will come back for this, but we don't want to rule out the fact that, look, it on the daily, it's in an upward structure right now. Look, we got a high broken, a low, another high broken. It's an upward market structure. And see this high right here? It could 100% pull back this far, but we got to play it level to level, because when it's in an up structure, you kind of want to be like more, you know, level to level to the downside in the opposite direction, and be more like, you know, open to the upside, and vice versa. We're in a downtrend. So look, we broke that high. If we start like losing this, like this level, like I said, that's probably our next point down here. I'm gonna actually use this right here. So those are your levels to the downside. Those are levels to watch there. You break this 74 though, I mean, make sure your stop's probably at break even by now. I would say I wouldn't even risk it. Just throw it at break even. Don't fucking take an L. And then worst case scenario, man, if this thing flips here, it's coming up to 80, so you got a nice little move there too. Probably higher. If BTC does that move we talked about, like speculation, guys, by the way, it's not me saying it's going to do this, but if BTC does decide it's going to break that 70.72, right, and it's going to make its way up to that 79.80, these altcoins are going to run, and some of them do look like they're kind of poised for a little pop. But at the same time, we are at resistance, so could they pull back first then pop? Absolutely. Like, you could see something like this happen on Aster. Boom, and then run up. It's just how they move. They'll come down, grab liquidity, and they'll shoot up. So Kush being in a short-term short is not a bad idea. Like, he's in from up here. My man's killing it. So yeah, look for support down there, dude, and maybe watch price action. You're starting to approach areas of bounces and liquidities. These are all like areas of interest for you to throw alerts and stuff and see what happens when you get there. But yeah, I mean, right now, the way the price action's moving down on the 4 hour, this is what I would do, dude. Take a trend line, pop that trend in just like that, right? Go down to your 1 hour. See how you got 3 touches on it? When that trend line breaks, get out. That's it. Like, that's exactly what I would do. Trend line pops, you don't want any more parts of it. That's your cue to exit. I mean, look at it first. Like, obviously, if it does this and comes back down, that's different. But if it, like, you start to see a break of it, man, like, get the fuck out. Because that's just the start of a move up. Could be, you know what I mean? At that point, you're in profits. Why not, man? Walk away with the W, bro. Yeah, I got you, man. Yeah. So I looked at BTC, looking at BTC into CME, potentially a little bit of a pullback down to some levels. If it holds where it's at now, maybe, but maybe down a little bit further, like around, I'll show you on BTC. Down here is where I'm looking for maybe a bounce this wick from Friday. I think they may come down and attack that wick, maybe this golden pocket. And then potentially we look for a higher low to go up. If it continues down, I mean, I'm looking for the range low to get taken out on 65. So, I mean, it's either going to hold in the 66,000 level, or it's going to run down back to 65 and then maybe take the lows first. Maybe look for an SFP down here. So, it's a range right now, man. I'm looking for a move at the end of the day on BTC, and a lot of the market's doing the same thing. I'm just looking for a move back up to the top of the range, and I'm trying to get somewhere in premium, or like, you know, discount, and sell in premium. That's how I'm thinking. If you just take like a little bit of a... By the way, guys, if you're watching, follow, subscribe, like, I do this content myself like 3 days a week, and Ben does this, and Ben's fantastic, man. He's great at breaking things down and explaining the markets, and we do this almost 6 days a week. So take a little bit of a parallel channel right here, right? I'm gonna go into this thing here, and I'm gonna put the 50% line in. See how we're at the 50% line? If you were just playing a range, you never want to be long going into the second half of this range. That's considered premium. Smart money concept stuff. And this right here is considered your discount. So the idea is, if you're playing the range, I want to try to get the best entry as a swing trader, the best entry in the lower half of the discount. That way, I can start offloading up here. You know, it's a nice move on BTC. This can happen in a few days, in one day. But it's a nice 10% range if you can get a nice long in there. So that's my plan for the week. Anybody asked. I haven't even looked at gold or anything yet, which I will. But let's go see what else you guys want to look at. Talked about my stuff. I'm going back up in TikTok. So sorry if I miss anything, guys. If it's really important to you, just like spam it. I will eventually see it. I know it's annoying, but I mean, do what you got to do, you know? I'm not trying to ignore anybody's tickers. Let's see what's up. There's a chance it could drop, just like I was saying right there. Bitcoin could drop before it shoots up. Who asked that? Stevens. W. Stevens. How do you determine the perfect time to submit? You mean like enter? Oh man, that's a lot. That's a question. That's a hard question to answer because it all depends on your entry model. What kind of entry model do you have? If you want to know more about entry models, check us out, tacticaleducators.com. Ben has free courses on all that stuff, and he'll teach you that shit. Nice, easy videos to watch. He'll break it down for you, and he'll explain how we build our plan, and then also execute our plan, which is the entry model. So check that out. You'd really enjoy it. And if you want have questions and you want to talk to us more one-on-one, check out our Discord. It's free to join. It's hard to answer that stuff all like on the website, you know, like when I'm live. I mean, is what I'm saying. Is Webull good to practice? Yeah, Webull's great as long as you have a demo mode, dude. Practice on demo mode. Learn. The idea is you want to learn the exchange. Like that exchange becomes, you're a pilot. That's your cockpit. You need to learn it. You need to know every nook and cranny. You need to make muscle memory because when you're executing a trade, sometimes happens quick if you're on the lower time frames and you're playing like, you know, a day-to-day trade. You're a day trader. You got to move quick, and you can't be fumbling around trying to remember where things are at. You have to make sure you know you're on the right leverage, your margin's correct. You know what everything does. If there's like, you know, trust me, I fumbled, man. I fat-fingered some bad trades before because I just like was on a newer exchange. I wasn't familiar with it, and I was like, you know, that's a lesson learned right there. So you're hearing it from someone who's done it before. How do you turn it? Okay, so that's the questions answered. Hold your screen. Okay, I don't know what you guys are talking about some other stuff. I can do knock. I don't know what knock is, but I will do that. Nokia. Oh shit. All right, let's go look at Nokia. The phone company, right? Like, not. It's the same thing I'm thinking of, right? I gotta go look at a weekly. Okay. So we got two areas of interest on the upside that I'm seeing. You got around 876, and you have that wick high. I don't know if that's a scam wick, man. That's ridiculous. What's the size of this wick right here? It's a fucking. That's crazy. Like, what the hell calls that? That's wild. I can do NQ100. Just let me do that. We'll do some ETH and we'll do some gold. ETH, gold, NQ100 next. And we'll try to get to NVIDIA. I just gotta go one at a time right now. So, look, that's your resistance on the weekly. Here's your support. You can see it's clear support. Just across the range, right? Look, this was the bang, bang, bang. Tried to break this level multiple times, and you finally did. And guess what you're doing? You're coming back and you're back testing, and you're seeing, hey, is this level legit? And it is. It's showing its support. So guess what? One, they're coming to take this wick out right now. That's the first target you can look for. Is that $8.23. And then they're probably going to come up to take this 876, which is that weekly high we talked about. This is the top. Like I only go into a bigger time frame so you can really visualize this. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is just the next logical place. This wick, sure, it could be the next target if we break this, but let's focus on this level first, because this level was actually formed. This was a scam wick. I don't put a lot of weight into these, but they probably will come grab that liquidity up there. So look, you break this level, what's the next logical place to go? It's up here, man. It's like 1164. So far so good. It's looking great. I mean, I wouldn't fade this thing. Lower time frames, it looks good. You know, your structure is back, flip to the upside on the daily, and you're going to attack the top of this range. So, you know, it's just going to do this until it doesn't. You know, it's going to keep until it gets to this level, and then we'll see what happens. It'll make a decision. Probably get a little pullback. Maybe it'll break. Maybe it won't. You know, or maybe it will. So that's what you're looking for. Keep it simple. Gold. Somebody asked for gold. We're going to do gold first, because gold is actually kind of important. So let's look at gold on the daily, right? We all know what's going on. It put in a pretty significant high around 5,600 not that long ago. And then it whipped down all the way down to 4,400. So we established that that is pretty much our extremes on the weekly. Like on the daily and the weekly. Those are our big levels. So it's like gold is at a decision point. And I said this a while back. I'm getting rid of some of my LARP lines. 5,100 is the level to break. I've said that a while back, and look where we're sitting, 5,100. If we break 5,100, this is, to me, going to be a higher low, and we're probably coming back up to attack the highs and potentially take the highs. Because what am I seeing here? And this could be a bull flag, right? And this could just be an uptrend starting. And it looks like if we break this, this is the next target. Now, do we break the high? Maybe not. Maybe this is just a, you know, double top scenario. We won't know until we get up there, but this is the level that's going to determine that. Now, look, there could be fake out scenarios where this thing breaks, rejects, starts to lose it, and then starts to roll over. And this could just be a bear flag, ultimately. At the end of the day, like a longer, higher term bear flag. I'm just trying to open your eyes up to different scenarios. It's how you need to think as a trader. You get what I'm saying? Like almost like a bear flag. Like right there. And maybe it rolls over. Maybe it continues up. So, but this level will invalidate the idea of this being a bear flag. So, we'll see. But for now, gold looks strong. They open tonight, like right before Asia opens, right on CME. So I expect some volatility. I'd expect gold to come attack this high. I mean, it's the next logical place. This 51.21 is the level. Can it break that level? Does it just take it and then close back below like we talked about? This scenario right here. Or does it actually like take it? So it'll be interesting. Gold's going to be a good one to watch tonight. I mean, to the downside, look, here's your major level you don't want to lose. Let's say there is a pullback. Ideally, you want to hold this little range right here. See what I'm pointing at? Like this little range. Why? Because it lines up with our trend. Two, it's the previous 4-hour low. We don't want to start losing market structure on the 4-hour. So to keep this uptrend, we gotta keep this going. Because what did we have? We had a 4-hour low, 4-hour high. This was a swing low, it broke. That was a market structure shift. If we start losing that, that's a break of structure again. It kind of invalidates the market structure shift. So that's the level to hold. So this could be our support for now that we want to see. For this thing to stay bullish. If it starts losing that and starts losing this trend, I start to get more bearish, thinking, hey, this is a rollover scenario where we're coming back down to this 4,400 eventually. So that's my analysis on gold. Let's go do NQ. It's at 100. Is that something different? Is that like a... No, you just want to do US 100. I got you. I got you. I got the US 100 right here. So same thing, NQ. So look, here's the thing. We'll go to a higher time frame, get a quick analysis, then we'll go to lower time frames. Where are we at? We lost trend. We can't fade the fact that there was a trend back from down here that you could have drawn straight through, and we lost it. And we've backtested that trend several times, and we've rejected it. But the bigger picture is we are forming a range here. So even if that is just a bearish sign that's telling us that, okay, the trend's fading, we're in a range. Our low is around 24,150, and our highs are sitting around 26,200. Could we go back up there and visit the highs? 100%. Now, how do we get to that level, right? Let's go to the lower time frames to determine that. Right now, we're forming what I think is a higher low based off that previous low we put in at 24,150, right? What's making me bullish about it? Well, I drew it out. Inverse head and shoulders, reversal pattern, right? It's a classic reversal. Go look it up on patterns.com. I'm dead serious. Like, everybody should know this if you're a trader. And also how they're getting validated. Well, look, for me, it's like there's the neckline. Can we break this high here at 25,000, essentially 600, 25,060, 25,070? If we break that, we're coming back up to 25.3. If we take that level there, guess what? We're probably making our way back up to the range high. So those are our hurdles for this thing to make its way up. Now I'm going to give you another perspective to how to look at this. If you're a trend trader, right? Gotta go see the market in a couple different ways. If you're a trend trader, you've already broken out, right? So the trend is starting to flip. You've gotten your market structure flips. You're good, right? What you're looking for is this. If you're a trend trader and you're bullish, you're looking for that push up, right? Maybe you get a little rejection here, then you get the pullback, and then you're looking for the continuation. You're looking for the trend to kind of hold, generally. You see what I'm saying? There's like a little bit of a trend forming down here, and you're looking for that, bang, to take you back up. So that's how you play that as a trend trader. And if it starts to break back into the trend as a trend trader, that's your red flag that the trade's invalidated, and it could just do this, run straight down. You see what I'm saying? So back down to the lows. So I gave it to you in both directions. Appreciate that, Bengal. Yeah, man, there's a lot of stuff going on right now. I mean, this is going to be a good week to be in the market and keep your eyes sharp. Stay patient. Don't jump into every little trade. My advice, watch Asia tonight, tomorrow New York. Give it a half hour, give it an hour before you jump in the market. 9:30 hits, don't start pushing buttons, right? Give it like a half hour. Let the market digest. Let the fake outs happen and look for the real move. It'll present itself around 10:30 tomorrow. You'll see. It always does on a Monday. Sometimes a little bit later than that even. Sometimes you don't see the real move till Tuesday, but you'll see something tomorrow around 10:30. So wait for that. And that's Eastern time, by the way. And yeah, you should be all right, man. You'll see some good movement on Nasdaq. So, someone asked for XRP and ETH. Let's do ETH real quick, then we can do XRP because they're probably gonna look the same. All right, I'm gonna get rid of all this fucking TA. We're gonna start fresh on this bad boy. I want to just kind of illustrate the difference between this and Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a little bit higher up. Let's just go look at Bitcoin right now. See how it's higher up in its range? If you do the same range with ETH, right? If I just take my highs and my lows on ETH. And I'm not hating on ETH or anything like that. I like ETH. I used to like ETH. ETH's a little bit further down below its 50% point. It's not up here like Bitcoin is. So it's showing relative weakness in my opinion. So to the downside right now, ETH is in a steady downtrend. Look at this. And we've got a little bit of a trend kind of forming, even from the highs. You could probably like glue this up a little bit and kind of just see, like, look, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. The target's the range low for this one. I mean, unless they can catch a bounce pretty soon, maybe at this low here, around 1900, or it catches a bounce down here and attacks this trend. If it can break trend at any point and, back test, then it'll come back up and attack the 50% level around 2025. If it breaks that level, it's back up to the range high, following like Bitcoin. So that's what you're looking for in this scenario. If you lose this level, look, bearish scenario, this thing starts running down, it loses this level. Guess what? This becomes resistance. If you can't get back above that resistance, it's coming down to take this wick out down here. So those are your levels on ETH. I can zoom out a little bit further and find you an even worse scenario. Maybe, I think ultimately you're going to see this low get taken out at 1400 on ETH. They're coming for this low. But do they do this first? Do they do this on a higher time frame, right? You know, before they come down. Like maybe they're going to build up a little bit before. So I'm not like trying to get super bearish after this many weeks of straight red candles. Like it's hard to think that. So I think there is some bounce scenario coming first, but you know, maybe they sweep the lows at 1700. But if you lose 1700, 14's next. So just be prepared. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know what the markets are gonna do. But I mean, I've seen fucking ETH do crazier shit than that, man. Are you guys around? Oh my god. Let me show you something real quick, then I'll go to XRP. Have you guys ever heard of Atom? Cosmos? It's a crypto. Back in October, there was a big API issue with Binance. Binance basically, like, their system showed that all the markets flushed, right? Everything dropped that day, right? It was a massive crash. Well, look what some of the APIs did. This thing went to zero. Like, damn near zero. It dropped so hard. So, like, I've watched this happen a lot real time. I literally watched something drop 99%. I was like, holy fucking shit. And it happened in minutes. Like, this happens so fast. I can't see if I can find the actual wick. Anyway, not important. That was my point. Like, some crazy shit can happen. So, never rule it out is what I'm saying. I've done that before, and I've always been very mistaken. You said global tariff news. I mean, look, dude, as far as I know about the tariffs in the U.S., everything got kind of, Trump's fucked. Like, Trump lost it. He lost, they ruled against it. Supreme Court said, nope, it's illegal. You can't do that. So what's that going to mean? One, he's going to be a dick and probably try to go fight it in court. Does that mean that the tariffs, he has to pay the money back right away? I don't know. That's to be determined. My guess is, if he fights it in court, it's probably going to push that out. But what does it mean we continue tariffs? That's the big question. I think they're going to say, does it cut off right now? If it does, it's going to be a lot of different, it's going to be a lot of things, you know? But paying that money back is going to be a pain in the ass. That's a lot of money. And we're already broke as a country. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Like, our economy's pretty fucked right now. It's looking not the greatest. And it's showing in our GDP. Our GDP went down on Friday. It dropped way below forecast. GDP is just a broad way of looking at the economic growth in our country. And it's down. So, there's no denying that. Yeah, dude. Alright, so let's look at XRP, guys. I'm just trying to get some levels on XRP for you real quick. So let's just look at it on the daily real quick. Look, we lost our major level at 190. We had a significant drop. We took out this wick low at around 124. I said a while back, I said if it comes below this and starts to close below, it's going for that wick. And it did. And it took that liquidity. So let's just take this right here. So that's our floor, around 137. We've been marking up since then. But we're trying to right now put in a little bit of a higher low. So if we're doing it just like Bitcoin, just like Ethereum, we're in a range. That's our range high, around 150. Our range low is around 134. If you start breaking below the range, you're going to make your way back down to the floor around 124. If you can hold range, make your way up, you start to look to attack this 150 level. If you can break 150, it's probably coming right back up to this 168. We got a little clue right here because of this wick. This wick shot right through there. That's kind of like, hey, if we can break this level, you're going to see traders go long. Because they know that move's coming, that they're going to reclaim this wick. That's like easy money for the market makers to attack, because there's liquidity left behind there. And then look, if it continues up from that level, you're looking close to back to the retest that we talked about, that 190 larger, higher time frame level. Back up here, which also lines up with our downtrend, right? You got a downtrend there. Go to my daily, look at that. If we even made our way all the way back up to this level, let's say we just continue to do this, right? That's resistance. Bang. 190 lines up with the downtrend. I'm not saying it lines up that perfect, but that's where I go. Like, that's me. That's where I'm looking for macro shorts. And where would I short this? I'm going to fucking piss people off right now. I already know, but I would look for a short all the way back down here. So this range right here that I have circled. So I'd be looking to load up, man, right there on the short. That's me. Not financial advice, guys. Does it have feedback? My bad, guys. Like how bad? Because I have my other mic running right now. Let me check something real quick in the background real fast, guys. Sorry. Just want to make sure my mic stuff is good. Let me move this over. It turned off. I got a new camera on there right now, and it has a built-in mic, and I was trying to give it no mic access. I'm running everything through. Anyways, whatever. I'll fix it. Sorry, guys. If it's really bad, just let me know. I'm not going to be streaming long. I'm streaming later anyway, so this is just like a preliminary stream, kind of getting ready for the week. But let's go look at that's my plan on XRP. I did ETH XRP. We did gold. We did Nasdaq. We did BTC. I looked at BTC already. Check silver. I can do silver. I did Nasdaq already. You can actually look back at Nasdaq if you guys want to. I did US 100. Yeah, my mic's fucked up. I gotcha. It's the camera. I tried to switch cameras, so I won't use that one later. It has a mic in it, and it picks up on the feed, and it's fucking with my output. So, anyways, I'm gonna do silver, guys, and I'm probably gonna jump. I'll be back on. Look for me tonight around 9:30 p.m. All right. TacticalEdgeTraders.com if you're interested. Free courses. We teach you how to trade. We give you all of our knowledge. Nothing's gatekept. We don't sell courses. You can also check out our Discord. Links are in the bio description. You can also get our link to our Discord from that website I just gave you, TacticalEdgeTraders.com. Sub, follow, hit the like. It really does help us. We do stream 6 days a week. Today I'm doing 2 streams. I'll have the noise fixed for next time. I just want to try something new, which is obviously not working. So let's go look at silver, and then I'm probably going to bounce after that, guys. Again, I'll be back on 9:30 tonight, p.m. Eastern. Oh, shit. Silver made a little jump, didn't it? All right, let's get rid of some of these little LARP lines so I can see what's going on. Look, silver was looking pretty fucking bearish a couple days ago, dude. I'll be honest with you, man. Silver wasn't looking too hot. I was like, silver was looking like ETH, like lagging in the shadows, right? But now I'm looking at it, and I'm like, okay, it's starting to play out that inverse head and shoulders I talked about a while back. Go down to my 4 hour, right? We hit that support around 70. You can see after we put that giant move in around 120, we came all the way back down, hit that 70 level, swept the liquidity. So what this is accumulation model to me, right? They put the low in, they sweep the low, grab the liquidity, they come back up, and they do the higher low back test. This is like if you guys ever heard of Wyckoff, this is like kind of like along those lines. So I'm just trying to simplify it. They sweep it. This is where traders start to go long and get conviction that, hey, the move is up, because we're showing support above this level. What else are we doing? Well, we're breaking the neckline right there. This is like a little inverse head and shoulders. This is like a little trend. We're breaking it. So it's looking good on the lower time frames. We broke 4 hour levels. We got 4 hour market structure in favor. We got 2 levels to the upside on the lower time frames to just kind of watch on silver. The big one's going to be 92. I'd say the more local one is going to be this 86. Can we break this 86 in the next push? There may be a little bit of a low, a little bit of turbulence up here. Maybe it pulls back a little bit, then it runs up. We don't know. We'll see. But just be cautious at those levels if you're trading this. Ultimately, though, if it can break this 92, I mean, just like gold. Remember I said gold. If gold can make its way back to the all-time high, if it can break that 50, 100, you might see a push back into this 121. Does it get all the way up there? I don't know, because it is showing a little bit more relative weakness to gold. So maybe people won't be as apprehensive, but let's say gold does make its push, this thing does the little pop. We could see something along those lines, And it could still be macro bearish. I think this was a significant high we put in. If you're just looking at this on the weekly, no charts, nothing else, right? That's a significant high, man. Can we possibly come back up and sweep the high? Sure. Maybe put a slightly higher high in? Absolutely. But this is like the beginning of like, hey, maybe this is like, the end of the giant roller coaster for a little bit. Could just consolidate, You get these big pumps. I'm going to just take you back to the last time it pumped up pretty aggressively. All right? Back here. It pumped. Decent amount. I mean, let's see the percentage-wise. 160%. And it consolidated for how long? Fucking years. Let me just pop this up. Look, that was years of consolidation before its next big move. So just be mindful. Like, these metals do move, but you have to think, like, this pump it just had, that was a 160% pump. I'm going to take it from here up to here, up just to the high. That's a 340%. That's two times. So this thing could consolidate for years before it's ready to go again. So maybe we establish a larger range and it plays that range for a bit. But just keep that in mind, okay? So that's kind of what I'm seeing on silver. I'm going to end on silver. I will do Tesla later tonight. Tune back in around 9:30. I was just doing a quick market update, all right? So 9:30 tonight, I will hit some more charts. I'm going to get my mic fixed because the sound's not doing too great right now. But yeah, check us out if you want. You can always check us out, tacticaledgetraders.com. Join the Discord, join the website, free courses. You can always join Discord and tag me, Unfair Philly. It's free to join, by the way. Type in that chart, type in that Tesla, and I'll chart it out for you in the Discord for you, man. I'll give you a nice little, I'll get you some nice little lines, some low levels to watch. So I'll do that since I wasn't able to grab that on the live today. But you got to join the Discord to do that. Also, sub, follow, like, guys. Like I said, you're not going to know next time we're streaming. And if you're not following or subbing, you'll get alerts. And, you know, if you've got a chart, maybe you're watching something, you know, you want a little bit of a secondary feedback on it, a little bit of analysis on it, something like that, you know, that's what we're here for. And maybe we could talk about the markets if you're a little on edge, or if you're wondering, hey, now's a good time to buy, you know. We won't tell you when to buy or when not to buy, but we'll tell you where we think the charts are going. And you can make your decision based off that. So anyway, guys, I will catch you guys later. My name is Eddie, for anybody who didn't catch that earlier, and appreciate you guys tuning in, and maybe check us out later, all right? Anyways, later, guys.